Chuck Diesel.
What's good, homies? What's good? It's your man, Dr. BOA, back up in the joint again. Salute to the Alphasphere. Bless up to the GLG. We in the building, man, doing what we do. Y'all know how we get down, man. Y'all know we good. If you want to be a part of this live chat, go to the main channel page. Click on that join button beside subscribe button. Click on your tier and come on in and join the chat. That's the only way you're going to be able to jump in this Superfly chat. Best chat on the web is right here, man. Salute to the brothers in the building, man. I appreciate y'all. Markel, what up? SJ3, my brother in the building, representing like it should, man. Always is, man. Salute to you. MPI, salute. El Senor Perez, salute, man. Antonio Alessio, what up with you? Warhammer, what's good, homie? Roy T, what up? Dev Miles, what up, Dev? SJ3, my brother with the cold intro, man. I wish I had a mic for you, man. So let's get ready to do this thing, man. Primal, what's good? What's good? Eddie Oliver, what's up, man? We're gonna chop it up, man. We're gonna have a good chop up today, man. Real good topic today, man. We're gonna do our thing, man. It's gonna be a good show. Good show. Incredible show, as a matter of fact. Y'all give me one quick second, man. I'm gonna still talk to y'all, man. Let me do something with this cam right quick. I'm actually using a different mount for the camera, man. Again, all this week, man, we streaming on the Sony A7S III. Incredible autofocus, man. So we had to have it. And I wanted to jump on that Panasonic GH6, man, but gotta have the Sony autofocus, man. Because with the Sony autofocus, man, you could bam. Bam. You could bam. Bam. You could bam. Bam. You could bam. Oh, I gotta cover my face up, my bad. Bam. 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 Every time. It don't miss. It may miss 2 out of 100 times. So with the Panasonic autofocus, man, that boy gonna miss 50% of the time, just to keep it a buck with you, man. So I had to do it. Iron Nando, what's good, man? Salute to you. Salute to you. Let's get it, people, man. About 50 more seconds, man. We're gonna go ahead and do this thing, man. We got a great show today, man. I got a couple of short pieces of content about both of these guys, man. I may upload that tomorrow, man, because I think I'm gonna slide this one straight over to Patreon, man. We'll see. Let's get it, people, man. Probably about 30 more seconds before we go in, man. Let me make sure I got the ringers off on these joints. Don't need no interruption. Content creator life, man. You gotta have the Android and the iPhone, man. Gotta have it. Android works so much better with Google products, but for everything else, content creation, everything else, gotta have the iPhone, man. Side, good, bro. Salute to you. Salute. Appreciate you being in the joint. Y'all go subscribe to the Homicide channel, man. So I got some music out too, man. Y'all go check that brother out, man. Go run over there, man. Check out all his links, man. See what he got for you, man. Talented brother in his own right. He got a couple cold ones with Teflon, man. So let's get into this thing, man. Now, we hadn't talked about Will and Jada in a minute, man. And it's because they pretty much been staying under the radar. And they still stay under the radar. But something happened recently on the SAG Awards. I think Will won an award. And let's talk about that. The fact that this woman can do all of the things she's done and still be the wife of one of the best actors in the history of Hollywood, one of the most successful, one of the most acclaimed actors in the history of Hollywood, and still show up with her little irrelevant self to these events. Because let's be realistic. Red Table Talk is an internet thing. It's not a Hollywood thing. She's fairly irrelevant in Hollywood, but Will still winning awards, still being nominated for awards, still playing amazing roles. And she gets the benefit from that. Why? Because Will can't let her go. And so they're being interviewed by this trans host, man. They're being interviewed, and She thanks Will for all the great things he's done, man. Will deserves that. He deserves credit and acclaim. Then he turns to Jada and says, "And thank you. Hopefully, we'll get another red table talk soon, or another entanglement." See, when you think about it, if you allow a woman to do something foul to you and you accept her back, then you are in turn saying, "I like this type of treatment." You are telling the world, yes, make me the butt of your jokes. Make me the laughing stock. I'll accept that because this person is so valuable to me that I'll take those things in order to keep this person in my life, in order to stay around this person, in order to stay with this person, in order for this person to stay with me. But let's go ahead and take a look at Will's video right quick, man. Let's take a look at this.
Fingers crossed. This will hopefully be your year. We love you. Thank you for all the years of joy you've brought us. Thank you. We can't wait for more red table talk and more entanglements and no more entanglements. No more entanglements.
Now, look how silly dude look up there laughing about that, man. Like when she said no more of those, look how silly he looked, man. Young brothers, I'm telling you now, and old brothers, if you got yourself in this situation, man, get yourself out of a situation where there's anything that's transpired between you and a woman where she can do that to you, man. Where you could be the butt of a joke that you got to sit there and laugh at. Now, just thinking Will would have sat there like this. He would look butthurt. You can't get up there and look butthurt because you took her back. So you got to sit up there and laugh while a joke is being made that you're the butt of. You're like Nutty Professor. You got to just sit in the crowd and take it. You got to sit in the crowd and take it. While she sit there and laugh and then takes the power of your emotional balance and says, no more of those. To make you feel better about what she did. You see what I'm saying? You have to understand that you cannot be a traditional husband for a non-traditional wife. And I promise you, men, right now, you can have a wife. I'm not saying ain't no women out there, man, that you should marry. Marry one if you want to, but you can't be a traditional husband and expect a traditional wife. Those days are gone. Hollywood, social media, societal changes, all of these things have made it impossible to be a traditional husband and expect a woman to be a traditional wife. You can be a traditional husband and you're going to end up like Will. When you give a woman something she doesn't deserve, you, in turn, help her develop a sense of entitlement to things that she doesn't deserve. Like it's fair exchange. You're giving her something she doesn't deserve. All that does is create a sense of entitlement. She believes she's entitled to those things. Why? Because you gave them to her. She believes she deserves those things. See, a lot of time you hear a woman and she'll say, well, I cook and I clean and I do. Those aren't wifely responsibilities. You men have started to tell women that that's a wifely responsibility. That's the responsibility of an adult who's living in a household. If she's single, she got to do that. A single woman got to clean just like a married woman does. But you men give women credit. You give them wifely credit. You give them virtuous credit for doing things like cleaning up, cooking, washing clothes. All of these are things she got to do anyway. When she's married, she just got to wash more clothes. She just got to cook more food. She just got to clean up behind more people. But the actions are the same. If y'all just roommates, she got to clean up sometime. And in the modern society, these women ain't just going to be women that do all the cleaning, all of the cooking, all of the child care, all of the... They ain't going to do that. They want you to be 50-50. Gillie found that out recently. He's in the car with his wife and he's telling her, or he's talking to all the women who tell her, you do everything for Gil. You do this. You send them to get a sandwich. You do all this. Gil says, I pay for everything. She says, but you don't do anything else. What else am I to do if I pay for everything? If you live an amazing life and I pay for everything, why? Boy, let me tell you something. This is what's happening in this society. Men are allowing their value to be diminished because women are lazy. Women have a lack of appreciation for the things you do. If you do 50 things and she does one, she feels like for that one, you owe her that 51st thing. She don't even believe it's a fair exchange for you to do 50 things and her to do one. If you do 50, when she does something, she expects you to do something else. And this isn't a knock on women. This is just a fact about women that men must accept. There are some facts about women you must accept. If you accept mistreatment from a woman like Will does, she will never respect you. You can't gain respect from someone who disrespects you. Anybody who saw you as a chump when you were in high school, they still see you as a chump. You see that person, you got to knock them out. You got to show them that this ain't the same you. This is why you have to develop yourself into the most alpha version of yourself as expeditiously as possible. So the people that meet you as your most alpha version. They don't meet you as a broken version of yourself. If Will was not with Jada right now, Will would be a much more powerful man. We would view Will totally different if he wasn't with that broad that's draining him every day of his life. I guarantee you. So when you put yourself out there and these type of things take place, all you can do is accept the fact that you would put yourself in this scenario. I got something else I want to show y'all. Here's a couple from New York. And they are living in separate residences. Why? Why, you ask? Because the woman wants them to. The woman came up with the bright idea that we should live in separate residences. Now, let's take a look at this. The Icans have been married for nearly 7 years, but are choosing to live separately. No, she chose to live separately. A wife living separately from her husband in New York says it revitalized her marriage and career. Not their marriage, her marriage. Sana and Adnan Akan got married in their 20s and quickly fell into a rut, she told Insider. Yes, women fall into a rut when you marry them. They started living apart in October and will do so for a maximum of 3 years. I guarantee you, she put all of these things in place. Okay, a woman whose video on living separately from her husband in New York City went viral on TikTok said it worked wonders for their relationship. We lived together for 6.5 years before deciding to make our own rules and do what works best for us and our love story. Yep, there she go. There she go. She said she got married to her husband Adnan in her 20s, nearly 7 years ago, due to family pressure. She didn't want him. From the moment we had our first kiss to the moment we were married, it was a year and 3 months. She didn't want him. It was too fast. He's not her type. In our culture, if you're out of college, next step is marriage. Let's take a look at the little video. It don't really show much. Same thing you just read up there. See, it don't show much. Now, at the time, she said she wanted to focus on her career, but didn't want to sacrifice her relationship in the process. Sana and Adnan saw marriage as a piece of paper and thought to themselves, how much can life change? But they soon found themselves slipping into traditional husband and wife roles neither of them wanted. If you don't want the traditional husband and wife roles, don't do the traditional step of marriage. He had financial burdens on him. I also was like, I'm not contributing equally financially, so let me step into the wife dude that's taking care of the house. As the years rolled on, time with friends disappeared, as did focus on passions. Sana, who now runs an adult social community called Jet Black Social Club and the Make Your Own Rules podcast, think about it, runs an adult social community. She for the streets. Marriage was never for her. We were basically just living for each other versus for ourselves. There you go. I was coming home, drinking wine, going to sleep, and I was just so burnt out, and he was working from home at the time, waiting for me to come home all day. Now, you hear that? He's working from home, waiting for her to come home. That man grinding. He ain't waiting for you to come home. He probably glad you gone. If the relationship is as bad as you said it was, he was feeling bad when you came home. He won't be bothered with you. Now, to help their relationship, the first drastic decision was to quit work and travel the world for a year in 2018. But COVID-19 hit soon after they returned, and Sana's feeling of needing space increased. She did not want to be with this guy. But instead of telling them that, because she wants to hold on to him. She knows he's a good guy. And any woman who was ready for marriage would have a good husband. She don't want to let him go completely. So she's doing the same thing that Jada does to Will. She's playing on his emotions and holding on to him tight enough where he won't get away, but now holding on to him so tight where she can't get out there and live her life and still be for the streets. So she asked him, she's saying he asked her, what if we just dated again? So they did. Sandra says she now lives on the Upper East Side, while Adnan, who works in finance, is 15 minutes away on the Upper West Side. Their finances are completely separate. They see each other a couple of days a week for romantic date nights and sleepovers, and are focused on building their individual careers. Here he is, legally married to a broad. He can't divorce her as he's building his fortunes more and more. When he divorces her, she ain't giving him nothing but a couple of visits a week. She ain't cooking for him. She ain't cleaning for him. She ain't putting no money in his pocket. She ain't doing nothing. She just get to walk around and say she got a husband. So guess what? If all else fails, she get to run back to her husband if things go bad. This is the type of usury that will happen if you allow yourself to become emotionally attached to a woman, bro. I'm telling you, it just don't benefit. Even if you have a wife, you cannot become emotionally attached to her because women will use your emotional attachment against you. I don't make this stuff up. When I say it, and you hear all these beta male, simp man, China talking about, oh, BOA over there talking about these guys over here talking about you shouldn't love a woman, you can't be in love. Man, ask all the men that's divorced, who they gonna listen to, me or them fools? The boy live in a fantasy world. Have a woman, but don't fall in love with her. It ain't hard to understand. Now, listen to her. It really just lit my world back up. Because she's in the streets again. She added that their intimacy has improved tenfold. Whenever we're about to have a sleepover, I'm like, oh, let me make sure I'm wearing like sexy lingerie. Yes, why not? You got to give that man what it takes to keep him hooked in. We're about to see each other have a long day at work. We're so excited to see each other. She said before, it's like, I had a bad day. Leave me alone. Now, I'm going to be honest with y'all, man. Let me finish this up. And I'm going to tell y'all something that's real. This situation is, in my opinion, a woman-led situation because she's the one doing all the talking about how it happened, how it took place, how it's benefited her life. Now, at first, Sana said she felt alone in their idea to live apart, but when she posted a viral TikTok about the living situation, she realized that wasn't the case. Some people question their marriage and commitment, but others have come forward to say they made the same choice or know people who have. It was scary at first, but I cannot live my life based on other people's rules because I'm not living my life. I'm living someone else's life, and I never want to end up on my deathbed where I'm like, man, I wish I did X, Y, and Z. While Sana and Adnan do miss living together and plan to move back in after a maximum of 3 years, she said that for now, this is working better for our relationship, which is making me love him more. She didn't love the guy. She was married to a guy, forced to be around a guy every day that she didn't love. The only way a woman can be around you every day, homie, is if she loves you. That's how you know if a woman can be around you every day and express pure joy about it, then she loves you. But a majority of men who have women around them every day, they aren't experiencing that. They don't know what that is. That's not their life. Many men are living in a situation where it seems like that's their life. Now, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I'm going to tell y'all the truth. If I'm going to be in a situation with a woman, then she ain't going to never live with me. But that's something that I'm going to put on the table from the get-go. And it ain't going to be because she don't want to. She probably going to cry and whine and fuss and complain and act like she going to do something to herself and all of that. But I'm going to put that on the table from the beginning. But only because I need my alpha space. I need my alpha space in order to live the same life that I live now. I don't want to change the way I live. It don't mean I want to have access to 50 women and have women coming over all the time. Truth be told, I mean, I have no woman coming over. If I do have a woman, it probably ain't going to be no woman that come to the crib. So what I'm saying is in a certain situation, that works, but it cannot be a situation where you have a woman and she decides that she don't want to be with you, and then you leave the door open for her to come back when she get ready to come back. See, it'd be different if it was a permanent thing. This is a woman who wants time to sow her wild oats. She just want to go out there and live her life, establish herself, and here's what this guy don't understand. As she's establishing herself, she's becoming a different woman. If she didn't want you then, bro, she's not gonna want you when she becomes a better version of herself. In her mind, a stronger version of herself, a more financially successful version of herself. She's not gonna want the guy at that point. And men just don't want to accept that. And it's just something you must accept. You must accept that. It's just the truth. So if this was something that from the beginning they weren't going to live together, they were just going to be together, blah blah blah. But once you put legal marriage into it, then that woman has to give you benefits in your household. This woman don't clean up his crib. The finances are separate. Then woman want to do what she want to do with her money. Now, granted, he ain't got to take care of her, but on the back end, she still got access to his money through divorce. How you gonna have a woman, a single woman? He pretty much got a single woman who just come through and he knock her down a couple times a week, who can divorce him whenever she get ready. Listen, bro, she can wake up tomorrow and divorce this guy and get half of what he got. He gonna have to pay alimony to a woman who don't even live in the house with him, don't even cook his food, don't even clean up. He can't even roll over in the middle of the night, man, and he can't do nothing. He can't do nothing. And then in these situations, it's always the man who say, well, I got a wife. I ain't going to be with nobody else. I guarantee you that woman dating somebody, man. I guarantee you she is. Let me tell you what happens in these situations. Same thing that happened in Will Smith's situation. You got a woman, you're providing for her. She admitted you providing for her. You providing for her, but you're not what she's into physically. And women do a whole bunch of talking. Well, you know how the guys be telling me about on dating sites, man. They be running to, somebody asked me the other day, man, why women on dating sites? I always say, if you're looking for some intimacy, then just keep on going. They own a dating site. What they think, somebody trying to wife them up? I said, listen, bro, a woman that's something she put up there to just steer guys away or to make guys come clean and talk about something else. But then if she like you and she into you like that, that goes out the window. First time you take her out, man, she be trying to spend the night with you. So what happens is these guys end up wifing a woman who is not intimately into them. And you get to a point where that woman is seeing guys every day when she's out and about, when she's doing things, especially if the woman not happy with herself. She don't feel good about the way she looks. She don't feel good about whatever she's contributing to the situation. Like she said, she felt bad because she wasn't contributing no money. She's vulnerable. And in a vulnerable state, a woman, her eyes, her head is on the swivel, looking at everything. And she's seeing men that she wouldn't mind being intimate with, who give her a certain feeling, who make her feel better about herself. And she wants a space to be able to do that. She can't do that when she got to come home to you every day. She want to go home by herself. She want to go home by herself, and then if she wants somebody to come through, she can have them come through. And what she knows, the same, and I guarantee you, they have a quote unquote agreement that they won't have nobody at the crib. But here's the thing: since they lived in that spot where he is together, then she can say, well, this is our house. This is where I'm coming back to. So you shouldn't have a woman in here. Now she go get her a new spot. She can have whoever she want to have in there. But this is the type of mental and emotional games that a woman play with you when you put yourself in a weaker position of being a man that's emotionally attached. This isn't a strong position. And see, when she talking about she do this and she could contribute, that was just her lack of motivation. She lacked the motivation. And here's the thing, bro. Sometimes as a man, you have to accept that you're the cause of a woman's lack of motivation. If a woman isn't motivated to do things just from your presence, especially if you're a motivated guy, this guy's in finance, so he's doing something to get some real paper. So when you think about it, and listen, man, it's crazy, especially in New York, man. You know what the price of apartments and condos is in New York. When you really think about it, you just have to accept the truth about the situation you're in with a woman. You have to accept the truth. You have to know that what you think you have isn't truly what you have, and you have to be okay with that. Another thing, this woman she don't even know what being a wife is. She don't know what being a wife is. She really don't. Absolutely no honor of the vows. You know, she just want to go do her own thing. She want to go do her own thing. And this is what I tell you, men. Never let no woman or her family or your family pressure you into a marriage that you don't want to be in. They gave in to the pressure. See, that calls into question his leadership skills. He had no leadership skills. Because ain't nobody finna pressure me in the net. A woman can say, well, my daddy say we got, man, tell your daddy, man, he better get off my jock and stop telling me what the hell I better do. You go back home to him then. So a lot of times, man, you got to keep in mind that no matter what you do, a woman won't appreciate what you do. And when you do something, she feels like you still owe her more. Whenever you got a woman and she's not happy, she's blaming it on the relationship. No matter what she's gone through in the past, if she's not happy, it's always going to be on you. Let's listen to Gillie's wife talk, man, and we'll come back and really get into this thing. Let's listen to Gil.
People always telling her, "Oh, you do everything for Gil. You do everything for Gil." You should have told them they need to do a little bit more. Me and Gil been together for 20 fucking plus years. Y'all need to do a little bit fucking more. Maybe y'all keep a nigga to fuck around. Fuck is wrong with them? But you supposed to cook for me.
Now you hear her saying she's saying you don't do nothing for yourself. Like that man pay all the bills. And yes, she's supposed to run around and pick up stuff, but she's paying all the bills. Or he's paying all the bills, and she don't want to do nothing. She complaining because she got to get up and go get the man a glass of water, and then he come back and say, "Hey, baby, go get me another one." Or she got to come and get him a sandwich, and then he say, "Ooh, I want another sandwich, baby. Go back and make me another sandwich." She thinks that he should do more than pay all of the bills when all she does is do what he asks her to do. I wish I had more volume on this, man.
Cook
Let's
for
listen.
me. You supposed to get my motherfucking hot tea. You supposed to
asked me for tea like 5 times. Like, seriously? Hey, if I ask you to do 2 things in a row, like, oh, babe, can you go get this? Then you'll get up and get it. Then I'll be like, oh, babe, can you go get this?
I do what's most important.
And you'll get it. But then,
I pay the bills.
There he is. I do what's most important. I pay the bills. This man pays the bills. He pays the bills, and she complaining that she can't get him to run back and forth through the house. I want y'all to listen. This is after 20 plus years of marriage. This woman been living this life for years. Gillie been on for a long time. A long time. But here his woman is who's been living this life for over 20 years. And she has the audacity to say that you send me to get tea 5 times a day. You mean tell me all the hell she got to do is go get tea? And she get to wear red bottom shoes? She get to keep her hair whipped. She get to keep her makeup whipped. She get to drive some fly. She get to live somewhere fly. You mean to tell me she complaining because she got to go get tea 5 times a day? I bet he got to pay more than 5 bills. I bet she got more than 5 bills he got to pay. I bet she spend more than $5,000 a month. But she don't want to go get tea 5 times. This is after this man invested all of this into this relationship, into this situation, into this woman. These women have no desire to be your wife. They want a husband, but they still want to be a single woman. They want to be a single woman with a husband. The same thing that just happened in that last story. She wants to be a single woman, but she wants to have a husband. She doesn't want the responsibility of being a wife, but she wants you to take on the responsibility of having one. She can't get this man tea 5 times a day. And then listen, because she get him tea 5 times a day, she want to be able to send him running to get some 5 times a day, even though he pay all the bills. Let's be honest. We wouldn't even know who she was if she wasn't Gil's wife. At least with Jada, she had a little career before. She's been in a couple of iconic films, a couple of cult classics. We don't know who Tootie was before Gil. Most of us don't anyway.
Then
I
I
do
tried
what's
it.
most
Then
important.
I'm like, can you get
I
this?
keep
He's
the
like,
lights.
babe.
I keep on the lights so we could be right. Get my
Well, I
tea.
still work too, so that doesn't matter.
You work for yourself.
There you go. She works, but she works for herself. She don't even have to pay no bills. Man, let me tell y'all something. If you pay the cost to be the boss, you better be the boss. You got to run your life like a business. You got to put your woman to work. All Gil is saying, hey, you going to do what I tell you to do. You live this life right here. Ain't nothing wrong with that. And the good thing is, man, it's a good spirited conversation. So they ain't having an argument about it or nothing like that. Because the bottom line is, not once did she say, I'm not going to get your tea. She just complaining that she got to go get it 5 times. Okay, go get me tea 5 times. And it's like this. It's not like the man sending you to get tea at 10 o'clock. Then he calling you back at 10 after 10 to go get tea. Tea is hot. That tea lasts him for a minute. So the man worked from home. Go get him some tea. He at work. He ain't doing that. He just at work. Get that man some tea. And then all the time, man, you hear that they talk about, man, I ain't no good man. I ain't no good. When we see stuff like this, why would a man be wanting to be married, man? Why would you put yourself in a position to pay the cost to be the boss, and the woman don't even want to get you tea 5 times? She feel, and listen, I'm telling you, whatever you do, it's never enough. You do 15 things. She loves those 15 things. She does one, but not in exchange for those 15. She does one, and now she wants you to do that 16th thing. The sense of entitlement is ruining women. And it's because most men are not going to stick to their guns. Gil is sticking to his guns right here. You don't see Gil backing down. You don't see Gil saying you right. Gil said, "Get my tea. You right. I keep on the light so we can be right. Get me my tea." That's the same thing. Man, I don't care how many times I tell my woman to move. She better move all on. If I tell her to get up out the bed and go cook in the middle of the night, she better get up out the bed and go cook in the middle of the night. Because you know what? If we hear something downstairs, I'm going to get up out the bed in the middle of the night with that iron and go down and see what it is, right? I'm going to provide and protect every day, all day. Whenever the need to protect comes, I'm going to jump on it. So whenever the need to obey comes, she going to jump on it. Or she going to be, pew, underlay, iba, underlay. She going to be out of there. Because it don't make sense for you as a man to have a woman around you that's living the life that she can't afford for on her own, and she won't do whatever you tell her to do. That's where my term obedience comes from. Obedience comes from if I say, hey, I go do that, you just go do it. I'm not going to explain why. Just go do it. Your why is always because I paid the cost to be the boss. That's your why. The why is always the same answer. I pay the cost to be the boss. I pay the cost to be the boss. Period. Now, this ain't a skit, bro. They just talking about how they live their life. You know, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna tell y'all now. And y'all the green label gang, man. So I get a green label gang with a little extra leeway. But here's the deal, man. If I post a piece of content, even if it's a skit, now I don't watch no skit content. I don't watch no damn couples channels and skit content. I don't watch girly content like that. So if somebody send me the content, I'm just gonna do the content. I had a cat jump in to come in and tell me, man, I told man, this dude, he don't know what's going on. He don't even know this is a skit. Nigga, I'm looking at you like, how you know it's a skit? I ain't never seen these people before. Now I ain't talking about this. Of course, I know Gillian too, but I'm talking about. I'll tell you what the content was. This dude, he told his girl to go put some clothes on because she was cleaning up with some little bit of tight shorts on, some biker shorts or something, a little bit of short. He told her to go put some clothes on, and she wouldn't go put them on. And so I was like, man, dog, come in, man. You don't even know this is a skit. Of course I don't, dog. I'm a grown ass man. I don't watch stuff like this. My son, 12, he don't even watch that kind of stuff. He don't know what that is. My son watch Richard Gere the Fishing Machine. You know what I'm saying? He don't watch that. So when my son watch stock car racing, motorcycle racing. He don't watch that. So I don't know when this stuff is a skit. And I'm going to break it down because you got to understand one thing about a skit. It's always going to be based on reality. Otherwise, it's not believable. A prank. You cannot do a prank that's not believable. Otherwise, people ain't going to watch it. The prank has to be believable because the person you pranking has to believe it. So it's always going to be something that's based on real life. You just got a bunch of people in the world who can't take the message out of the entertainment. A lot of people look at everything, they look at everything for entertainment. Messages go all over their head. Man, Hollywood been moving messages around from the elite to the elite for decades, centuries even. Every movie you see has an underlying message. And if you watch them, every single movie that comes out in Hollywood eventually comes to fruition in real life in some kind of way. That's just what happens. So you got to, but I ain't really talking about you, EB. That just sparked me to think about this guy who jumped in the damn comments, told me I don't know as a skit. So, and that's real, man. They just be wanting your energy. They just be wanting your energy, man. I mean, of course they're talking in a joking manner, but Gil does send her around to get him tea like that. Like that ain't no joke. I send my broad around. It ain't no skit to send your broad back and forth to get you stuff when you work from home. I work from home. Whenever my broad around me, man, she running back and forth. I don't lift a finger. If I'm drinking water, if I'm drinking water, if I'm eating a plate, she always gonna come get it from where I am. You know, if I'm at my desk and I got something, she gonna come get it. And then if I got something else, she gonna come back and get it. And then if I need a paper towel, she gonna come bring me one. Then if I want some water, she gonna bring me a bottle of water. And if I want a plum or a peach or a pear, she gonna bring me a plum or peach or a pear. So I have my bra running back and forth 10, 11 times a day. So I mean, that's just real talk. You know, if you got a commanding, commandeering relationship with your bra, then it's normal to send her back and forth all day like that. I send mine back and forth all day. So I mean, I think people just have an opportunity when you really think about it, man. You just have to, you have to take everything for what it's worth. The bottom line is this, man. If you have a woman who has any issue with doing anything that you want at any time, and you pay the cost to be the boss, don't do it. You ain't got yourself nothing. You really ain't got yourself nothing. So no matter who your woman is, she will listen to other women. I tell you all the time, societal pressure and societal acceptance is one of the things that causes women to not be who they're supposed to be. So yeah, she hear all the women telling her, man, Gil have you running back and forth. Gil don't do nothing. Gil blah, blah, blah. And when it all boils down, maybe she do have to run back and forth. But those women who complaining don't live the lifestyle she live. Because I'm going to be honest with you. When my broad around me, she do whatever I want her to do. I don't have no trouble. Now, does she ever say in her mind? Does she ever say, "Man, this about the 10th time he had me running back and forth"? She don't ever say it to me. You know what I'm saying? She may be watching a show and not want to get up, but she gonna get up. That's just how it is. That's her sacrifice. You know what my sacrifice is? I pay the cost to be the boss, and I let her enjoy that. I pay the cost to be the boss for me, but I let her enjoy that. So what you got to understand is this, man. You got to keep in mind that a lot of the times when you hear guys talking about being in a situation with women and they're not satisfied in a situation, you never were satisfied in a situation. You don't wake up one day and not be satisfied in a situation. You wake up one day and realize that you never were satisfied and that you were selling yourself short. Sometimes you want to say that the woman changed. No, but the woman didn't change. Here's the thing. If you are not living with a woman, if y'all ain't cohabitating and y'all be intimate 2 times a week, but y'all only see each other 2 times a week, that's every time y'all get together, y'all getting it in. If y'all live together, and then y'all only get it in 2 times a week, it's different because when you see her twice a week, you getting it in every time you want to because you're only seeing her twice a week. So it seems like every time you want it, you get it. But that's not true because sometimes you be at home and you want it and you don't get it. So when y'all move in together and cohabitate, those 2 times a week aren't enough because now you seeing her 7 times a week. 7 days a week, she's in the bed with you. So now you got to go 5 of those days without it. And probably 1 or 2 of those days, you want it again, but you're not getting it. So now you go from never being turned down to never wanting it and not getting it to wanting it and not getting it to twice a week. That turns into 8 times a month. That turns into 96 times a year. Before you know it, you go from spending 1 year not ever not getting it when you want it to not getting it 96 times in 1 year. In your mind, she's changed, but she hasn't. You put her in a position without knowing the ramifications of the position. And now you have an expectation for her to match her actions of 2 days and do all the same repeat actions over 7 days. It's just not realistic. Every time you go see her those 2 days, she got on something sexy. You move in with her, 5 days out of the week, she don't wear nothing sexy. So now you got 5 days where you see her and she ain't at her best. That's why I tell y'all, unless your woman knows that she got to keep that stuff up that she's doing a couple of times a week when she see you, unless she knows and can wrap her mind around the concept that she got to do those things for 7 days, cohabitation don't make no sense. Cohabitation is always going to give you the worst of the woman because she ain't going to never be at her best 100% of the time. And me, I prefer to only see my bra when she at her best. You know what I'm saying? If she between hairdos, I don't want to see her. If her nails ain't right, I don't want to see her. I prefer natural nails, but I prefer just straight nails with clear polish on them, maybe some tips or something. But if she want to put polish on her nails, she want to put that acrylic polish on her nails, guess what? Don't come around me if you need a fill in. We got a problem. I don't want to see you when you need a fill in. I don't want to see you when the only thing you can do with your hair is pull it back in a ponytail. I don't want to see that. If it ain't done, don't come. I say that anyway. When it come to hair and nails, if they ain't done, then you don't come. That's the reality of it. Because if they ain't done and you come, I ain't gonna come. We got a problem. And that's just the reality of the scenario. And I think a lot of people just don't get that that's the way this has to be. It has to be that way. Def Debate, appreciate the fireball. Notice how the more masculinity is draining in society, the more undisciplined people there are. Yeah, man, they're all over the place. People are absolutely undisciplined now. And this is the thing. Of course, Gil is valuable to two. Why? Because he pays all the bills. Your value is based on the value you provide to people. That's just what it is. The same thing with us. We base a woman's value on what she provides as far as what that value is. You know what I'm saying? What that value is. Whatever we value, the more of that they give us, then the more valuable they are to us. That's just the way it is. So is Toot gonna leave Gil? No. Where else she gonna get that from? Is Jada gonna leave Will? No. Where else she gonna get that from? Is that Sana Icon chick? Is she gonna leave that dude? No, she not gonna leave him. Why she ain't gonna leave? Because she ain't gonna never get another dude that's gonna let her be his legal wife and live by herself and be a single woman. So as a man, you just got to make sure you're getting the value that you want in return. You have to do that. So when you think about how you're going to build yourself into the best version of yourself, you can't do that if you're allowing somebody to be benefited by your presence and you're not benefiting from theirs. If you're not going to work a job for free, then you can't have a job to take care of a woman for free. If you pay the cost to be the boss man, you shouldn't have to do nothing else. You shouldn't have to do nothing else. Like when guys be running around talking about, oh, please the woman, please the woman, please the woman. No, I pay the cost to be the boss. It's the woman's job to please me and derive pleasure from that. If you got a woman if you got a woman who ain't pleased from pleasing you, you got a problem, bro. You ain't got no woman. You got a roommate. That's what you got. And many men don't even sift through women for that. They don't vet women for that. They just look at, oh, she's beautiful, she's gorgeous. Now you got a gorgeous woman with a brain, like a sock. brain super fuzzy with a couple holes in the toe part of it. So I say this to you, man. When you think about certain mindsets that take place in this society and certain situations that men find themselves in, like we look at Gil's situation, I can't imagine Will saying that to Jada. I don't care. Just go get you better get my damn tea. I can't imagine Will saying that to Jada. They don't even have that type of interaction. But why? Will been getting money longer than Gil. Why? Because as a man, you have to make up in your mind that nothing is more valuable than your peace of mind and protecting your alpha energy. And Will never made up his mind that that was the most important thing. As a man, that has to be the most important thing. You can never be in a situation with something or someone that you cannot let go, because you're going to take whatever, all type of crap from that thing, because you can't let it go. Now, when you really think about what is taking place with Will and Jada, those are just two people who don't want to be in a relationship with each other anymore, but they've been together so long and it's become so normal that Jada especially doesn't want to have to start over, because it's hard. It's tough for a 50-year-old woman to start over, bro. It's tough. A 50-year-old woman starting over, she gonna go have her fun a little bit with some guys who just, let's say Jada start over. She gonna have her fun with some younger guys who just say, "Oh, that's Jada Pinkett Smith," and they remember the Jada from Set It Off, and they remember the Jada from Jason's Lyric, and they remember the Jada from all of that. And so they see through who she is now and see her for what she used to be. But anytime a woman has a high caliber, high quality man, she's always going to juxtapose that man's value against every, man she meets after that. And those men are never going to measure up, because she has so much history with that man. I don't care what you have in the beginning of a relationship. You can't measure up to the man who the woman has history with. That's why I tell you, man, if a woman is fresh out of a relationship, back off of her. If a woman's been in a serious relationship within the past year, man, I ain't dealing with that woman. I ain't dealing with her at all, because she still got some scars or either just some emotional attachment to that situation. So it doesn't make sense to do that. And the lesson that we learn from Will is never allow a woman to mistreat you. Never take a woman's foolishness. Never let a woman deal with you in any other way other than a position of powerlessness, representing and reverencing your power. A woman has to revere your power. She has to revere your authority. She has to revere your position. Why? Because you're in the position of power. You cannot give up the position of power willingly. You cannot share the position of power. I'll tell you what, if you ain't got no money, go get with a woman who got some money and tell me how that work out for you. Tell me if she gonna let you be in power and she make all the money. Tell me if she gonna let you control everything, man, and she pay all the bills. Tell me if she gonna do step and fetch and do whatever you want to do and she pay all the bills. And then I give you a free counseling session when you come back with your head all screwed up because you thought that was gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen, because women understand the value of power. Women don't share power with you. But power is hard to come by. Women do not share power. She has to be in a position, man. Listen, there are women who would rather just downsize everything in their house, downgrade everything in their life, rather than give you the power. They rather still be able to pay their own bills in a slum than to have to give up the power in order to come live with you in a better environment than the slum. I'm telling you, boy, women have the idea of what power is. Men don't. And a lot of time, men don't even know they ain't got no power. Guys talk all the time about a bunch of things that don't represent power. It don't represent power. And I just want men to understand the benefit of having power and controlling your life. You ain't never going to control everything. You ain't never going to control everything. I remember Bill Gates had an antitrust law. This was back when his paper was super long. He's still a multi-billionaire, but this one he was like the richest man. Like, he was the richest man in the world for a long time. Man, he had an antitrust law. He was sitting in front of Congress, man. They were trying to lock him up. Antitrust law. Richest man in the world, man, still got to deal with the laws. Why? It's warm down here today, man. All kind of bugs flying around. Y'all bear with me. So when you really think about it, you have to keep in mind that no matter what you think you have with a woman, you only have what you demand. A woman is going to do anything you let her do. Now, if Gil would just let her not do anything, man, I know a guy who was doing. Man, this guy was getting money. He wasn't my partner, but he was one of my homie partners. Man, this guy was getting paper. You understand what I'm saying? He was a HVAC contractor, man. He was doing HBCUs. So he was doing $250,000 contract to do the dorms, $350,000 contract to do the dorm. I think the biggest one he ever had was $475,000 contract to do the dorm, to redo the AC in the dorms. He was getting that kind of money. You know what I'm saying? One gig, quarter mil, at least a quarter mil a pop. Had this young chick, man, she was bad, super bad. Put her through school, put her through nursing school. Had her driving brand new Yukon on 24s, man. I mean, she was living it up. She had to pay no bill, put her through school. He married her. Man, listen, she ain't even want no, they ain't even stay married long enough for a divorcement getting in, but he married her. He just married her. He actually said, I do. Man, listen, the day she graduated from nursing school, the day she got that license, man, he ain't never see her no more after that. He ain't never see her no more. He was gone on a job, man, came home, man. He was ready to celebrate with her, man. She was gone. Left his Yukon there, man, left his key, and she was gone. Dipped. I don't know if he ever got divorced from her or not. I don't know if he ever annulled the divorce. I think he held out hope she was gonna come back. But she dipped on him. Changed her number and everything, man. And when you think about it, you know, a couple of homies were like, man, that's messed up, man. I'm like, nah, that ain't messed up, man. You're dealing with a woman and you brought a woman in and gave her a position she did not earn. If y'all don't listen to nothing else I ever tell y'all, do not put a woman in a position she did not earn, because she will not respect and appreciate it. She won't. So, like for me now, it's hard for me to give woman access, man. Cause man, a woman went with me, man, when I ain't had nothing. A woman went with me when I was paid and lost everything. Man, let me tell you something. Boy, I've been super paid and lost everything twice in life. You know what I'm saying? I've been super paid and lost everything twice. Had to start from ground zero twice. And you know what? I don't even talk to nobody who was there when I was on ground zero. You know, family, but I'm talking about like outside of family. Man, I don't talk to nobody. It ain't nobody that I'm gonna meet who was there when I was on ground zero. Either one of those times. And I tell you one thing, when I was at the mountaintop, all the people that was at the mountaintop with me, one none of them there when I hit ground zero. So the second time, I ain't even played the same way. Because you know, you don't never know when you're going. You just don't never know when you're going until you get situated and start living life exactly the way you're supposed to. You never know when you're gonna come down. You know, you're gonna be on a roller coaster until you get your life together, become the most alpha version of yourself, and live the life that you're put here to live, and then live and do the mission that God gave you to do. Then your life is gonna be a roller coaster. You're gonna go up and down. Now, your peaks may be higher than most peaks, and your valleys may be lower than most valleys, but your life is going up and down like a roller coaster. And when I think about it, man, it's hard for me. A woman she has to take her time and prove to me that she deserves to be in this position in my life. Because if she doesn't prove that, then there is no chance. I'm not going to end up like Will Smith. I'm not going to end up like that. Put a woman in a position she don't deserve, man. That's why I tell you, man, if you got a woman, man, and you've been knowing that woman for 3 months and she can still hold out on intimacy, man, let me tell you something, bro. I ain't never had a woman that can come to my house and hold out on intimacy. It's always me. It's always me leave her hot and bothered. I ain't never had a woman who could come around me the first time she had my crib, come around me, man, and be like, well, no, I can't do it. I can't. No. Come on, man. That's the first sign. The first sign. And that's why I tell you, men, you gauge that by a woman's willingness to please you. You got to start off with the right mindset with a woman. You can't start off from a beta male mangina position with a woman, man. You got to start off from a position of power. You got to let her know, okay, this is my life. You're coming in to be a part of it. That's what you're coming in to do. This is not your life. Your life begins when you leave out of this door. Your life ends when you come in this door, because now you're coming into a different world. You have to present your life as a different world to a woman, because it is. My life is a different world to a woman, man. Just the wealth of knowledge and information that she's going to get from me, man, is worth anything she has to offer. The improvement she going to make in self is worth anything she has to offer. And a lot of times, guys don't look at their lives that way. Guys underestimate their own value to the woman, because all you think about is money, 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 money. Like you take Steve Harvey. Man, Steve Harvey underestimates his value to Margie. He's been diminished to just being a beta male provider. All he does is just give the money. So much now that it's getting so normal to him that he talks about it. Man, I'll give her 85%. But his true value is the leadership value. That guy's one of the greatest motivational speakers ever. If you can't do nothing, boy, let Steve Harvey talk to you. I bet you could do it after that. But he doesn't value himself like that at home with his woman. Because why? Somebody put in the chat why he doesn't value himself with his woman. There's one reason why he doesn't value himself with his woman. Somebody put in the chat why he doesn't value himself with his woman. Anybody. Anybody put in the chat why Steve Harvey doesn't value himself with his woman. There's only one reason that he doesn't value himself with his woman. And it is because he values his woman too much. He values his woman too much. See, I'll tell you like this. Let's say one Bitcoin is 45,000. And let's say I give you 35,000 cash. Do you know there are some men who would value that one Bitcoin for 45,000 more than they value 35,000 cash? In the United States, they value that Bitcoin more than they value 35,000 cash. There are other men who value that 35,000 cash more than they value that one Bitcoin. Because for that man, the cash is what counts right now. For the other man, that Bitcoin is what counts right now. Whichever one of those men you are, you have to live your life based on that value. And you can't let anybody convince you that their value is more than yours, because you stand on your own principles. You've been building this life your whole life, man. You've been building yourself to the best version of yourself your whole life, through all the ups and downs, through all the obstacles, through all the hard times, through all the good times, through all the successes, through all the failures, through all the lessons learned, through all the lessons that you had to do again because you didn't learn them the first time. You have been doing this your entire life. So you can never bring anybody else into your life and give them more value than you have in that life. Why? Because they haven't contributed enough. They never will contribute enough. Because however old you are, if you're 20, you're 20 years ahead of them on contributing to your life. If you're 30, 40, 50, whatever your age is, you're that many years ahead of them on contributing in your life. So by the time a woman contribute 50 years to your life, then let's say you're 30. By the time a woman contribute 50 years of work to your life, you're 80. You're still 30 years in front of her. She'll never catch up unless she's been there with you from day one. And that's why a lot of men get caught up in, I'm going to buy my mama a house. I'm going to buy my mama a car. I'm going to do this for my mama. I'm going to give my mama a bank account. I'm going to do with my mama this. My mama going to get this. My mama going to get that. Because that's the only woman who's been there with them from birth. And those men, I give those men way more credit than I give a man who meets a woman and give her everything. And she ain't earned it. At least your mama been there the whole time. At least when you fell against your knee as a kid, your mama kissed it and made it better and put a Band-Aid on, put some peroxide on it. Think about it. At least when you were sick, your mama gave you chicken noodle soup and cuddled you like a little baby and put that cold cloth on your head and put that Vicks Vapor Rub on your chest. What did woman do? Nothing. So a man like Will going through this with a woman like Jada, man, he crazy. I'll give her half of everything. He got, listen, Will should have did what Mike Jordan did. Mike Jordan, them kid got grown. Mike Jordan gave her half. Because here's the thing about giving a woman half. When you gain your freedom to rebuild yourself into the most masculine version of yourself, the most alpha version of yourself, because I don't care how alpha you are, you're going to lose some of your alpha energy when you're in a committed relationship around a woman every day, because you have to put so much into that. If you're going to be a man about it, if you're in a relationship with a woman, you got to put a lot into that, man. It takes a lot. So you can't be a selfish person and be in a committed relationship. You can't be a selfish person and be married. It requires too much input. It requires too much effort and energy from you. And so the only reason that Will didn't make that move is because Will never was too adamant about protecting this alpha energy. Many men are not that adamant about protecting the alpha energy. Kanye, not that adamant about protecting his alpha energy. That's why he run around here talking about, I want my child back. I want my child back. I want my family back. Boy, you ain't got no family. That woman gone. She done moved on. Now you mean tell me you want the woman back? That's because you don't know the word. The word say that when a woman have a husband and he put her away and she go be with another man, he can't take her back. For after that, she is defiled. So he shouldn't even want her back, but he want her back. He see her traipsing around in public with some dude. He want her back. Now women will say, well, men do it all the time. We ain't talking about men. We don't care what men do. So if you're a woman and you listening and you talking about what men do it, okay, go somewhere where they talk about that. We don't talk about what men do in relationships over here because we're not in relationship with men over here. There's somewhere you could go to talk about that. We're talking about women. We're in relationship with women over here. That's what we've been in relationships with. So as a man, you have to remember that you have to protect your alpha energy, because even if the woman wanted to, she couldn't. She don't have no experience at protecting alpha energy. You got to protect yourself from the world and your bro. And too many men get too trusting with their woman and they don't protect themselves from the woman. I'm not saying you got to be strapped up and have no bulletproof vest on. I'm talking about by protecting yourself from the woman means that you stay in your logic. You stay in your spirit, man. You cannot become a weakling who relies on emotional interaction with the woman. Because when she see you get all emotional, man, she foaming at the mouth like a pit bull. Subconsciously, she know, I got him. Got him now. He ain't going nowhere. I got him. I got this dude. He's stuck like Chuck. I got him. That's what Will is dealing with now. That's what. And the crazy thing is, both of these guys from Philly. How ironic is that? Both of these guys from Philly. And you gotta keep in mind this as well, man. And I'll say this, man, I ain't gonna hold y'all here too long. You have to keep in mind that when you let a woman downplay your importance and you accept that, you're telling her that you're not valuable enough to have her. And that's what starts her to look down at you like you don't deserve her. She deserves someone else. And when you think about that, you have to keep your gaiters squarely on the esophagus. You have to. You cannot let anything go. You cannot let anything ride. You have to protect yourself from yourself. You have to protect yourself from your willingness to fall in love. You got to stand outside of yourself in third person and look at yourself and say, hey, man, what you doing? Anybody home? BOA. What you doing, man? Man, I think I love her. No, you don't. Boy, stop being foolish. You love God, you love yourself, boy. Don't be foolish. You got to talk to yourself. You got to let your spirit man govern the food that is your fleshly man. Because your flesh man is a fool, man. That boy functions on all type of things. Lust, love, affection, all kind of things. And this is what you have to understand. So 2 things you have to do. You have to be disciplined. You have to be disciplined before you could demand discipline from her. You have to respect yourself before you can demand respect from her. You have to provide for yourself and just allow her to have access to the things you provide for yourself. But never think about just, okay, I got to be a provider for her. You have to focus on doing what's best for you. You have to focus on doing what's best for you. And if it's not best for you to have that woman in your life, don't let her in. If it's not best for you to be in that woman's life, don't be in it. Because the bottom line is, you put yourself in the wrong situation with a woman, man, allow yourself to be emotionally drained, boy, it's going to take you years to recover. It takes years to recover from emotional drainage. That's why I'm telling you, it doesn't benefit you to be emotionally attached. Because the longer you're attached, the more you're drained, and then the situation ends, and you ain't got nothing left. It takes you 10 years to bounce back from a 20-year marriage, man. Half of the time that you were in the situation is how long it's going to take you to bounce back from it. That's why many men end up being in a long-term relationship or a marriage. They get out of that one, jump right back into another one. Why? Because all they know themselves as is a married man. They don't remember what it's like to be a man that's a standalone entity. They don't remember what it's like. That's what's wrong with Will. Will don't remember what it's like to not be married. That boy been married since he was young. He don't remember what it's like to not be married. He don't remember that, Will. And so for him, it's safer for him to just stay in what he's familiar with. And as you grow older and get to a certain point, you're afraid to do it. You're afraid to become the version of yourself you know you should be. Because in your mind, you can't convince yourself that that's a better version than the version of you that you've become for the woman. It takes a whole lot of compromise and sacrifice to stay in a situation where you're not wanted, you're not desired, and you're not treated fairly. And so you're most certainly not loved. It takes a lot of effort and energy. And that's the type of effort and energy you won't get back. Like, you could give that effort and energy and it won't be reciprocated. It'll never be reciprocated. So I tell you, man, all the time, don't listen to these fools in this society, man. They're trying to take you back to the days of old. Those days are gone. Those, I got a wonderful wife and she's going to be so amazing. She's going to do everything and she ain't going to have no issues out of it. Man, those days are gone. Those days are gone. Social media effectively ended those days. They are gone. Am I saying you can't have a woman? No, I ain't saying that. But what I'm saying, the days of meeting a woman, oh, and I want her to be my wife, and you to marry her in 6 months, bro, those days are gone. Trust me. These women got some secrets out here. There's something that you don't know about your woman that will be a deal breaker for you. Because gone are the days of the absolutely honest woman, if there ever was a day. But that day is gone. There are no consequences and repercussions for anything a woman does these days. So why would she be forthcoming about everything when there are no repercussions? Ain't nothing you could do about it. Why tell you? Because even if you find out later on, all you're going to do is stay with her. Why? Because that's what every man does. Every time she's ever seen a woman in a situation where she does something that shouldn't be done, the man stayed with her anyway. When they look at Will taking all this from Jada, man, they don't care about that. They're going to stay with. When they look at Kanye still chasing Kim around while she running around with Pete Davidson, man, these women they have no reason to be with their grandmother's word. They have no reason to believe that they need to do whatever they have to do to keep you. And my thing is, I'm not saying they have to, but I'm saying that's the value that you deserve as a man. And if you can't get that value in modern society, why are you still putting women in positions that they don't deserve to be in? If you can't even get the value out of the situation, what's the purpose? You're putting women in situations that they don't deserve to be in, and they don't even want to be in it. These women don't want to be no wives. They want the security of having a husband. And if they could get that security without giving you anything back, they'll take that. What kind of foolishness are we dealing with out here where men still believe that if you marry a woman, that means she's going to be loyal to you? Do the divorce statistics not mean anything to you, men? Does not just watch it. And I know you know somebody in your life that being dogged out by their old lady. Man, let me tell you something. I knew a cat, man. His old lady, man, was messing around, man, with another dude, man. Ended up getting knocked up, man, while she was still married to the dude, man. Do you know that dude, man, still wanted her, man, told her he'll take care of the kid, man. Just don't leave him. How much sense that make, man? Just come home. I'll take care of the kid. Just don't leave me. We can get through it. We can work through it. She didn't want to work through it. She was hoping she did enough to make him leave, but that still wasn't enough. Now you got these women out here dealing with that, dealing with these type of beta male, sim man, Jonas, man. You think it's worthwhile to jump to something? And you got these clowns out here talking about, man, well, just go ahead, man. No, you got to rebuild. Boy, you can't rebuild now. You ain't even tear down. You ain't got no power to rebuild now. What you gonna be rebuild? That's just like a cat talking about, man, we gonna rebuild the inner city. No, you ain't. You ain't gonna lay one brick out there without getting permission from the city. You ain't gonna build, you ain't gonna open now program, you ain't gonna do now without getting permission from the city. You ain't gonna rebuild nothing. So you out here, you trying to rebuild something that you didn't tear down. You trying to restructure something that you didn't know the original structure of. You trying to accept something that is not worthy of being accepted. You trying to live a life. You trying to live a life that's impossible to live. And you know what that life is? That life is being a traditional husband to a non-traditional woman. Now you got to think about it. Gillie and Toot ain't no spring chickens. They up in their 40s. They grown folk. To y'all young cats out here, man, let me tell y'all something, boy. Y'all dealing with some show enough fools out here, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Women in y'all age group, man, they absolutely they nuts, boy. I ain't gonna lie to you. Y'all ain't got y'all pickings are slim. Y'all might well get an older woman, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. If I was 20 right now and I was thinking about having a woman, man, she'd be older. You know what I'm saying? I'd be looking at somebody, man, 30, 32. I wouldn't go younger than 30. Because unless you have the type of domineering mentality and domineering outlook and you're in a position of power in your own life, ain't that you could do with a young woman today, man. Nothing. Nothing. If she younger than 25, boy, she a social media tycoon. You understand? And if she anywhere between 25 and 30, she might not be a social media tycoon no more, but she's a validation typhoon. That means that any type of validation she can get, boy, she gonna hawk it down. So when you take the social media tycoon and the validation typhoon and you put them together, boy, you got you a woman that is uncontrollable, inconsolable. You understand what I'm saying? That's what you got. You got a woman who she's uncontrollable, so you never know what she's gonna do. She's gonna go wherever the wind blows, and she's inconsolable with validation because she can need more validation than you're gonna ever be able to give her. Those days of that type of relationship, they're gone. Any man who tells you they're not gone is lying to you. Man, let me tell you something. If you want a woman who's not on social media, you got to get her from another country. You ain't gonna find her. You might find a woman who ain't on Instagram, but she on Pinterest, she on Facebook, she on some. And now, if you want a woman who ain't on Instagram or Facebook and none of that, you got to go older. You got to get a woman in her 40s that ain't on none of that. You got to get a woman who just so old that she ain't never had no interest in that stuff. Now, not all some older women be getting it cracking on IG, but you got to understand that you're gonna have to adjust your standards. If you want a certain quality of woman, as far as like morality and spirituality and all of those things, then you're gonna have to make some physical compromises. You know what I'm saying? If you want morality, you got to compromise physicality. That's just the way it is in this society. Now, there are other societies, patriarchal societies, where women are raised and groomed a different way. But even with those women, you can't bring her here to the States. So you got to relocate and go live somewhere else. Because over here in the United States, boy, legal marriage is dead. I say again, legal marriage is dead in the United States. And can't nobody on the planet bring me no statistic, no piece of evidence, nowhere to say anything contrary to that. Unless you make it up. It's dead, homie. So don't even think about it. Don't even wonder about it. Legal marriage is dead. There are more benefits, like my homie SJ said, there are more benefits to being a thought than there are to being a wife. Because a thought can still get the benefits of a wife. Why would a woman want to be with just you and be married when she cannot be with just you and still have 2 or 3 guys who are gonna put her in a wife position in their life? These guys be knowing about each other and just be taking the time that the woman can give them. And know that when she's with the other guy. Boy, it's deep out here, man. It's deep out here. You got to understand the level that these men are on out here, and they're allowing women to dominate and dictate however the relationship goes. Why? Because at some point, men's value got dropped so low that a man feels blessed to even have a woman respond to his DM. I want y'all to understand that. Men feel blessed to even have a woman to respond to their DM. Men are willing to compete with men just to get a text response from a woman, man. What kind of men are these? Who raised these guys? Who taught these guys to look at themselves as the scum of the earth? And look at the woman as the only thing that can cleanse them. Man, I just heard another guy talking today, man, talking about he wouldn't be here if it wasn't for a woman. Well, how about you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for a man too, fool? I don't care what nobody say. It takes both the woman and man to create a child. There shouldn't be any debate about, well, who brings forth children, who creates children, who. It takes a man and a woman. A man can shoot up everywhere he want to shoot up, but if he don't shoot up a woman in the club, ain't no baby coming. A woman can get everything done to her she want to, but if somebody don't shoot up a club, guess what? Ain't no baby finna be made. So it's all stupidity and foolish when you hear people talking about who makes baby, who creates life, who does this. I always juxtapose the male side of it because everybody's always saying women create life. Women create life. So I have to always throw out, no, women don't create life. Women create the body, which is that egg, that clump of mass. Men give it the spirit. Either way it goes, both are necessary. And when we live in a society where it's being perpetuated to women that they alone are the creators of life, what you think you're gonna get from a woman who in her mind has convinced herself that you're not even needed to create life? What you think you're gonna get out of that? You know, the problem with men in this society is accepting the reality of this society is really hard. And I'm not used to men being that way. I'm not used to men not being able to accept the reality of life. Because where I'm from, that's one of the first things I was taught. You got to accept the reality of your life, man. When you look around you, if you ain't got no food in there, you can't be acting like you got food, dog. You hungry. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't got no food in the house and you got no money to buy groceries or go do something else dumb, you better go buy groceries. You can't do that dumb. When you come home, you still ain't got no food. That's the reality of your life. The reality of your life is if you found a way to make good in your life, man, and you get into the money right now, a lot of the people that you was around before you got money, you can't be around those people no more. If you was in a certain environment before you got money, you can't be in that environment no more. The type of women that you were getting when you ain't have no money, you shouldn't be dealing with those type of women no more because you're not going to go into the places where those type of women even understand how to behave or where they are or how to engage in those situations. The reality of life is the reality of life. Russia being in Ukraine right now is a reality of life. To think that this can't juxtapose into some worldwide, That's not reality. It could. It not juxtapose, but transform or transition into something worldwide. Yes, it could. Very well. Expeditiously. David with a Y, appreciate the dime, man. Appreciate the dime. Home say Cook. Salute to you, bro. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. New Jordan Arrow, appreciate you, man. So I guess the reality of the scenario. All right, David with a Y again, man. Appreciate you. Home say facts. Sneaky Black. If she didn't do another one, we'll real talk. So, man, I say this to y'all, man. When you think about your life as a man now, as a man, you have to be fully aware of the fact that no matter what you think you have in a woman, don't think it, know it by making her show it. You know what I'm saying? That's all you got to do. Make her, you got to know it by making her show it. She can't make you know it if she don't show it. That's your motto. I ain't from Missouri, baby, but my state's to show me state too. You got to show me something. You got to make a believer out of me. You got to make me feel where you're coming from. Because you got to keep in mind that being realistic about your masculine expectations of yourself. What do you expect from yourself? Many times, you're not expecting what you should expect from yourself. But then you press your expectations on the woman, and she's looking at your life, and you're not expressing what you want to accept. That's why I tell you to be the most out version. When you're the most out version of yourself, boy, you can stand in front of a woman and say, I want you to do this, 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 and this. Because I do this, 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 and this. Buy into it or not. That's it. Ain't nothing else you can do. Famo, salute. Wouldn't you like to know? Appreciate the 5 bones. I don't appreciate it. Dark Truth, appreciate the dime. Home say adding to the tip jar. Salute Dr. BOA and peace to the chat. Salute, bro. I appreciate you. Appreciate it. Let me see. J. Hugh Millard, man. My Lord says, Dr. BOA, how do you go about having a decent, wholesome woman in this society? Do you suggest going overseas? Man, you got to go somewhere in the world where there's decent, wholesome women. Like, and there may be some in this society. I will tell you this. If you go get you a real live country girl, I'm talking about a real live country girl, like a girl from Mutlick, Kentucky. Get your girl from Demopolis, Alabama, or something like that. Go get you a girl that still live in the country. You know what I'm saying? Where they got 2 hotels in the town. You know what I'm saying? You get you a girl like that, man. A school teacher. I'm gonna be honest with you. She might not be the absolute most attractive woman, but she's gonna be cute enough. But she's gonna be a good girl. She's gonna be wholesome, and she's gonna be used to laid back country living. So anything, any life she has with you is gonna be amazing to her. You understand? But you got to make sure she ain't caught up on social media. Got to make sure of that. Like, you shouldn't even be able to find her on IG. She shouldn't have no IG. And for me, that's a big one, because she ain't got IG. She probably ain't got a TikTok. She probably ain't got a Snapchat. And I just believe that that's what you got to do. You got to go to the country. You got to go to one of them towns that hadn't quite crossed over yet. You know what I'm saying? That don't have a whole lot going on. One of them towns that still get Dish instead of Direct TV. One of them towns. One of them towns ain't got no Comcast, ain't got none of that. You got to go to one of those towns. One of those towns with one high school in the town. The town, the high school, middle school, and elementary school are all named after the town. You know what I'm saying? Linden High School, Linden Middle School, or Linden, they don't even call it junior high, they call it middle school. Linden Elementary School. Got to go to one of those towns, man. And that's the reality of it. You know what I'm saying? So there's still some, but the thing is, we have to get out of our head that IG expectations are the real. We can't look at women on IG and expect to find a woman in the real world who look like that, because those women on IG don't look like that in the real world. They don't look like that. They just really don't. And you just got to be the most alpha version of yourself. When being the most alpha version of yourself, you don't waver for anyone. You understand? You don't waver for anyone. You just don't. And that's a tough pill for a lot of men to swallow because it's easy to waver and move around. Fear to none. Appreciate the super sticker, homie. So that's it, man. I say, man, y'all keep striving, man. Be most out version of yourself, man. Be yourself to my version. But I will show y'all this, man. I think this is a nice little clip. So in this clip right here, man, this kid, his mom is dropping him off. Of course, his mom and dad are together. They're married. His mom says, "I'm about to go see my side dude." Watch how you can tell. Watch how he talks to his mom. This is the difference between being raised with your dad, like a true solid man, not a simp dad, but an alpha dad. This is what it sounds like when an 11-year-old talks to his mom when he's raised with an alpha dad. And watch how he jumps and defends his dad, defends his dad's honor, and says, "Okay, I'm going to let me know so I can report all this back to my dad." Side mother, appreciate the dub. Protect your mind, body, soul, and wallet. It's not worth it to give your efforts to a woman. Show devotion to your grind. Keep learning new things and keep God first. Well said, my brother. Salute to you. Salute. Appreciate the dime. All right, again, man, the dub. Again, man, y'all go subscribe to that brother channel, man. Sabi dropping some bombs over there. All right, man, so let's watch this right here. This is a good way for us to get out of here, man.
It's too early in the morning for all this. Let's go.
So, I was just playing.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Tell me your son had his dad back without telling me.
Love y'all. I'm about to go by my side piece house, okay? Y'all have a good day.
Wait, what?
Hurry up and get on the bus.
What did you just say?
So hurry up and get on the bus.
I ain't getting on that bus. I'm staying. Come on, let's go. Going by some side piece. We could go right now. Come on, mama. It's too early in the morning for all this. Let's go.
So, I was just playing.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Tell me your son.
Now, that's what it looks like. That's what it looks like when you see a kid who's raised by a sure enough true man. He automatically went to the first thing. Okay, this is my mama, but she out of line. Let me put her in check on behalf of my dad, because my dad ain't here. What you say you about to do? What? I ain't getting on that bus. Come on, let's go. Not, mama, do I have to get on the bus? I ain't getting on that bus. Come on, let's go. Then chastise her like a child. It's too early in the morning to be playing like this. That boy got a good head on his shoulder, and props to his dad for making him that way. At that age, that's where you're supposed to be. At that age, you're already beyond the level where your mom disciplines you. His discipline and punishment comes from his dad. You can tell that. You understand what I'm saying? This is what's missing in this society. Somebody sent me that clip, man, and that's phenomenal. That's a phenomenal clip. I like that. It represents where a young man that age should be. The problem is, not many of them are in that space. Devontae, appreciate the dime. Rather have a cooperative 6 or 7 than a modern acting 8 or 9. Got to prioritize peace of mind over optics, fellas. Salute BOA. Real talk, because I'm going to be honest with you. That cooperative 6 or 7 cleans up to an 8. And guess what? A well-behaved 8 who don't have to be cleaned up all the time. Because when you look at an 8 or a 9, if she's a cleaned up 8 or a 9, she ain't nothing but a 6 or 7 anyway. But you can't tell that because she needs validation so much that she's always in her cleaned up 8 or 9 state. No, I need a woman who only cleaned up to 8 or 9 when we go out somewhere. Man, she averages a food when we at the crib. She average, but she's sweet as peach pie. So to me, she's still an 8 or a 9 at home. But when we step out somewhere, she show enough clean up to an 8 or 9. So every time you see me with my bra, you see me out with an 8 or 9. 8, 9, just depending on what she wear, depending on how her hair is. But you see me out with a bad chick. When I'm at the crib, she ain't got to be bad like that for me. I know what she dress up to. I don't mind her, dressing down, man, just have on some boy shorts and a t-shirt at the crib. I don't mind that. You ain't going to see that. So when you really think about it, man, that's really where we have to be in this world as men. We have to stop letting our 5 senses lead us. You can't be led by your sense of sight, smell, hearing, touch, taste. You got to be read by your sense of coming. Common sense, that is. Logic, reason, understanding, wisdom, knowledge. Be led by those things. Because they ain't going to never lead you astray. Never. YSS22, appreciate the 7-bone Canuck Buck. First time supporting the channel. Thanks for the knowledge. Salute to you, bro. Appreciate the support. Appreciate you tuning in as well. So I say this to you, men. Man, we have the right as men. If you're going to take the time, effort, and energy that it takes to build yourself into the most alpha version of yourself, you deserve everything you want. And how dare you disrespect yourself? Disrespect your alpha energy. Disrespect the alpha sphere by not demanding those things. So, I say this before we go and make our way out the door. Over here in the alpha sphere, alphas up, betas down is indeed the motto. SJ3, my brother. Appreciate you being there, joint man, along for the ride. Famo, I saw you step in. Let's head about this joint, man. I say peace.
Seems like no matter what you do sometimes, your efforts go underappreciated or unappreciated, period. You know, all we do, man, is try to give men the information they need to become the best version of themselves. No hate. We love women. We don't hate them. We just don't take no foolishness. And we can't be controlled by our lust. Those men can, but not us.
Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Simps claiming that they pimps, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Suckers claiming to be players, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Tricks acting like they max, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Betas claiming to be alpha, but they not though.
Now, I'm not gonna tell you, man, that you shouldn't value your woman at all. A woman does have value, but you can't overvalue her and convince yourself that she brings more value to your life than you bring to hers. You know, just the protection and provision is more than a woman can ever make up for, man. So I'm not saying don't give her props for what she does, but damn sure never make her feel like she's more important to you than you are to her, because it's just a figment of your imagination. She knows the truth, so you have to understand the truth as well. This is called the abundance mindset. There's nothing she can give you that you can't give yourself, besides a baby. And do you really want one of those right now? Nope.
Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Simps claiming that they pimps, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Suckers claiming to be players, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Tricks acting like they max, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Betas claiming to be alpha, but they not though.
You see, the main thing that men let women slide with is shut-upness and obedience. Now, when you use the term obedience with a woman, she automatically relates that to being a slave. But slaves aren't obedient. Obedience is a choice. Slaves either do it or die. Shut-upness is another thing that women have a problem with. It doesn't mean you can't talk. It means that you can't talk when I'm talking. It means that when we're talking about things that I do as the man, you don't have an opinion on those things, because I make decisions based on facts, not opinions, not even my own opinions, and most certainly not yours.
Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Simps claiming that they pimps, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the